Hello everyone, I'm the Hasnate Angel and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm actually just going to talk about Vaughn's powers. So, obviously she has similar powers to Alistair since she committed similar sins in his name. So her powers are similar, but they are also she has some that are unique to her. Her, full demon design is actually based off of the Irish Fae. Particularly, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's a goddess related to deer, which are called fairy cattle in that mythology. And she actually has red hair, like Fawn does. I'll switch between calling her Fawn and Fia just because she interchangeably uses those names. And because Fae and fairies are most often linked to nature, she has two aspects of her powers that aren't like Alistair's. So she has control of vines where she can summon them. And then her horns are actually often hidden by flowers that sprout out of them, and usually they are based off of her emotion or whatever she's feeling. So if she is happy, they're going to be something that represents happiness, like daisies or some innocent feeling. If she is angry, there's going to be a flower representing anger or ivy or something growing out. If she's because she's meant to be a female partner to Alistair. If Alistair is flirting with her or making dad jokes which she enjoys, roses will fall out, or other flowers representing love. And when she gets into her demon form, it can be any type of flora. It will change her outfit to represent that. And her horns grow, so you can see them outside the flowers. So she has vines, flowers, and then the flowers sprouting out of her horns, which often are an indication of how she feels. But normally she has cheerful, innocent flowers, since she very much, even though she's just as a messed up killer as Alistair, she's not as sadistic. But she always likes to keep up this outward image that she is actually more innocent than she is, in comparison to Alistair, who wouldn't seem innocent. She's very cheerful, very helpful to others, very kind to others, but when push comes to shove, she will stab you. Her one similar power to Alistair's is she actually can control radio waves, but more in the way of cell phones. So if you're using your cell phone to play music or something, she can mess with it. And something that links her with Alistair's, they can use radio and cell phones kind of independent walkie-talkies with one another. They technically don't need she wouldn't need a radio to communicate with Alistair. She could just use her cell phone. He wouldn't need a cell phone to communicate with her. He could just use his radio powers. I just wanted to add some fun aspects that made her different from Alistair, because a lot of her original concept and stuff, she was actually supposed to be more her facade is that she's innocent and stuff, but her original character was very angelic and innocent, kind of was in hell because of Alistair. But he still is the reason she's in hell, but it's more of a self-wrought kind of thing, rather than he drug her down with him. It was, no, she followed him down, which is why she has the similar power. But since she has some things of her own, she was born and raised up in till a certain point in Ireland, and then her parents would send her to school up until the war started. So she kept her accent, and her family is very superstitious, which is why she takes on the form of a fae. This also leads to if she knows your name, she can control your phone better. Like, and it has to be your, like, true name. So, good thing Alex doesn't need a phone, because kind of like how you're not supposed to tell fairies your name or your true name. If Charlie would be like, she'd be like, Fia would be like, oh, may I have your name? And Charlie would be like, oh, I'm Charlie. And then she would have this, like, slight control over Charlie through her phone. She probably wouldn't use it because she is a bit nicer than Alistair. And she does believe people can go to heaven. She probably would have gone to heaven if it hadn't been for Alistair's death. Like, if they had both grown old together, she probably would have just let him do his thing. She would have done her thing. And yeah. Her vines actually work similarly to Alistair's tentacles, in which she can summon them and, like, use them as extensions of limbs. Where they come from is ambiguous. However, again, she is very much it's unlikely she will use them, and she also kind of has this idea that everybody should smile. And she very rarely isn't smiling, but she doesn't see it as a sign of, like, weakness to not smile. She just sees a smile as something everybody should wear. It's not that it's weak not to, it's just, if you have the confidence and power to smile always, you're just mentally stronger than others. And that's something she probably learned from Alistair in her youth. He's very much like, oh, smile always, and she goes, whatever you say, darling. And imagine she has more pet names for him than he does her, because he probably, like, just refers to her as Doe Eyes, if he's referring to her as a nickname. Or, like, his generic, like, darlings, my dear. But if he says my dear, it's probably a pun of that she is a deer. Meanwhile, Fawn probably calls him, like, my love. I can't think of any, like, nor can I pronounce the Irish terms of endearment. She probably calls him, like, my lover, love. Once in a while, she'll be like, if, like, push comes to shove, and, like, let's say it was him versus her, and he said, bow down, she'd probably be like, yes, master. But she very much is very emotionally dependent on Alistair. Like, if we follow canon, he probably, like, does not feel the same for her. Like, she is, even though they're both asexual, she probably has very strong romantic feelings towards him. Meanwhile, it's likely his are just very strong queer platonic feelings towards her. If he's not demi-romantic, then I could see him having strong romantic feelings towards her. But for him, it's more of I've known her all my life, she's followed me all her life, she is mine, and it's more of a thing of he sees her as an extension of him. She is mine. It's very much a possessive thing. It's unlikely he would, like, intentionally hurt her unless she got in his way, but she probably wouldn't. Again, I'll go more into this when I do a big piece between Fia and Alistair. I'm still working on it. It's just because it's like a bunch of smaller pictures in a bigger one, and I'm still working out the layout and the coloring and stuff. It's taking a bit longer, which is why you're getting a video on Fia/Fawn's powers. Again, I will mention from my Mary suing video, Fia is her, like, the nickname she had in life, and it was short for Fionnette, which means wild one or deer in Irish. And it's actually her name, all her like first, middle, and last name all means something like deer. So her whole name is actually Fionnette Fawn Darby. So wild deer, baby deer, Deerfield. Because I think I'm funny. And that's the only reason that it's like that. But Thea would be her like general nickname and like her more personal nickname, but Fawn, because her name was Irish and she didn't want to bother with people mispronouncing it, Fawn is the nickname she probably goes by in hell unless you're a close friend, and the name she probably went by in most civil life in New Orleans because it was her middle name, which is why I use them interchangeably. I'm not gonna lie, I did just fart, so if you hear a little rumble on the audio, I'm sorry. Her eyes glowing, I thought it would look cool, make her look a bit more evil than she normally does. And probably the only person that could get her to calm down, not that he wouldn't stop a mass murder from happening, would be Alistair, or even, because I would say she probably has a decent relationship with Angel, Nifty, and Husk. They would probably be able to calm her down somewhat and be like, yo, don't want Alex for seeing this. And she'd be like, you right? I always like my mans. She actually, again, I'll go more into this when I do the Alistair video. She is less possessive of him than he is hers. Like, she understands push come to shove, she's probably expendable to him, but she likes the idea that he is possessive of her to a point, because she spent so long under his thumb and being part of his life, and she's part of his, and she spent so long dedicating herself to being him. So that's why she has like such similar powers, and even her powers are different, are similar to his. I'll go more into like, again, their relationship, and then like similarities and differences between their crimes in that big video I'm planning on doing. That is all for me. My voice is starting to hurt. It is already late for me at night, so I'm going to finish up this video, chug some water, potty my puppies, and head to bed. Currently I do videos Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. And that is all. I'll see y'all later. Bye.